Hello, it's Anica from Croatia, certified Zentangle teacher. Well, we've seen each other quite recently, right? In our Inktober Tangles challenge. But today I'm here to present one of the new tangles by Zentangle that was launched in their CZT event, ZenAgain, and I'm sadly not there, but I'm receiving the news with these wonderful new tangles and I want to share them with you. So the one that I will share today is called Foundabout. And I will just take this piece of paper to show you how you draw it. And then I will maybe make some adjustments. So you start with these branches that grow from each other. And you can see how I'm drawing them, growing each new branch from around the mid part of the previous one. And then I will start drawing these leaves which extend from the top of each branch to the bottom. Now it already looks beautiful, but I will add some more shapes or some more lines. So I'm basically creating another part of the leaf which starts from the top, and then I imagine that it extends below the next branch and then ends at the bottom. And I will continue. You can see that I started doing it from the bottom because it seems to me that it works better. Then I'm just climbing up from one to the next and just extending the lines below. And this is the last one. Now you can maybe play with it a little more and extend it even further down here, or just imagine that it will extend only to this point, like the first one, to the bottom of the stem. So this is the basic, shape of this tangle, and I will draw it now on this 3Z tile by Zentangle. And I will do it a little bit differently, of course. I will start with a line that extends into a fescue, and then I will make it thicker, at least a part of it. So this is also a new concept that was launched at this same event, ZenAgain. It's called grafting. And basically you start with one tangle and then extend it and end it as another tangle. So I think it's very similar, or maybe even the same as what we referred as morphing before. It's just that Zentangle is now categorizing some tangles. They have this new Zentomology project, and they're also launching some new tangles and some new concepts. So grafting is one of them. I'm done with my stems. I think I have enough. This is a very limited space that I have here. So the canvas is small and I'm not going to add too many of these. And now I will do the same thing that you saw me doing in the piece of paper that I first drew on. So I'm extending these branches to add the leaves, and then I will add another one. You can see how I'm drawing behind, and then I will do it. Just climb up from one to the next one and add these lines that I imagine and at the bottom of each of these stems. But I only can fit one part of it, which is visible because the rest is hidden behind the leaf. So this is my basic shape here. And now, of course, you can think about maybe adding some shades or some embellishments. So there are many ways that you can embellish this. I was using quite wide nib for this. It's Uni-Ball Eye Micro pen that I really like, but it's really bold. So maybe for some of these details I will take something that's that's a bit thinner. I have here my Copic Multiliner pen, and I think I will just add some texture to these sections that are hiding, so to the ones on top of the branches. And I will add these thin lines that extend from the branch to the top. And of course you can also add some weight to the line at the bottom to enhance this shading effect. And of course we will also shade later. So here it is, and then of course I will add some more to the one on the bottom. And you can start like I started here in the middle, just first divide the space into two more or less similar sections, and then add some more lines between them. Or you can just do it like this, from one side to the other. So whatever you prefer. Sometimes doing it like that, you know, starting from the middle makes sense, especially when the shape is not symmetrical. And when you establish where the middle is, you can easily just add the new ones to the sides. Now this is just a little something to, you know, make it a bit more interesting. So I'm embellishing these branches with some orbs or perfs, as we would say in Zentangle. Just adding one at a time, being mindful about how I position them, and just enjoying this repetitive process, as always in Zentangle. Relax and enjoy it, and you know, be mindful about breathing calmly and focusing on each line, on each shape, one at a time. So this is it. I think because I want to achieve some contrast between the top part of the leaf and the bottom part of the leaf, I'm not going to add anything to the bottom part. But I think that I will add some orbs, so perfs, just between these leaves to embellish them. Very simple, you know, very simple solutions, really. And then if you just take some time and give it some love and add these details, like just some lines that will enhance the shading, add texture, it's going to bring huge changes and add a lot of interest to it. So here it is, and I think I will start with the shading now. So what I have here for the shading is not my usual shading go-to supply. It's AquaGraph. So it's a water-based graphite pencil. but it has a greenish color. And of course you can use anything you want. This will be quite quick, I think. I will start with adding first some shade on this bottom part of the branch, you know, with these perfs. And I also know that I want to add some to these sections that I already filled with lines. And now I'm going to enhance it even more. And another thing that's sure is that I will add some to my orbs. And then, because it's water soluble or water based, I will take my water brush and I will list all of the exact supplies that I'm using in the description. So please just refer to the description of the video before you ask me what was it that I used. And then you can see how the greenish hue is emerging as I'm using the water brush and activating that pigment. So it's very similar to watercolor pencils, which is my favorite go-to coloring supply. And if you think that you have too much water or too much color on your water brush, just, you know, wipe it away. If you have some kind of paper tissue or something, or even your hand will do. I'll just take a little bit of pigment from the tip of my pen to add some more shade here. And so this is, you know, the first part of the shading, but I want to also add some depth to these leaves below, and I will just apply some of this shade to this bottom part and to the side as I climb up the side of the leaf. And of course, you know, it's just one approach to shading this, and I'm sure that you will come up with many others. So this is just to show you the basic idea with a little twist. Okay, I went here outside of my line, but it's fine. You know, there are no mistakes in Zentangle, so I'll just continue. And I think it's, you know, it's quite cool how it suddenly has this additional dimension. And now I will think of what else I might do with this. So this is not pre-planned. I basically came down here from my living room where I keep all of my supplies with just a few supplies. So, you know, I don't know, maybe you don't know Zentangle's concept, elegance of limits. So it can be applied to anything. Originally, of course, it refers to the string that you use when you tangle, but it can also be applied to limits in the number of supplies that you have. For example, and I have limited supplies now, so I will just play with what I have. And this is this Kuretake Real Brush marker in olive green. And I will just blend this to add some light below some of these shapes. And then I just squeezed the barrel because I felt that I needed some more water. And now I'm activating it and just, you know, using it to add some more interest. And this particular color I really like because it's so delicate but so powerful at the same time. It has this really wonderful yellow component. I think I will use it also to add some color to these fescue endings. So you can see I used it only at the bottom, but now I will blend it. I think that I won't add too much to this. What I would like to do is just draw some kind of a border, and I'm using this same marker to do that. Really, you know, light strokes, imperfect light strokes. I'm not going to go over any of my black lines, just to kind of give it, to frame it, basically to frame it. It's something that I use very often in my drawings, and you can see how, because this was damp, the paper was damp, so it immediately started spreading, because I didn't wait for the paper to dry. Sometimes, you know, I'm just not patient enough. But you know, these accidents or happy accidents can also result with some beautiful unexpected results or unplanned results. We appreciate these opportunities, or I don't know how to say that. It's the opportunities that would start with oops instead of opportunity. Okay, so it's just, you know, a small detail that kind of frames this drawing. I'm still thinking about maybe adding something more, but I'm not sure. I have to think some more. Let's see what would happen if I would really just lightly touch this damp surface with the tip of my brush pen. And I love these Kuretake brush pens because they have real brushes. So it's not, you know, the felt brush that you usually find in this kind of supply. It's a very fine, real brush, like you had a watercolor brush with a really nice tip. I can see how, even though I'm drawing these, really trying to make these really like fine lines, it's not working really well because the surface is wet, so it spreads around it. And you know, I really like to experiment, and I'm not going to just make the video again, so it's the same process as with my Inktober videos. I'm just going with the flow, you know. I'm accepting whatever happens and roll with it. It's just, you know, to add some interest. I'm not sure if it was a good idea. You can decide and then just and then just decide if you will do the same or maybe skip this. You can use any kind of supply that you have. You could do this with a watercolor pencil. It would not be the same exact effect, but you know, just play with whatever you have, with whatever supplies you have. It's like something's missing in this really very white zone here, so I will add some color to this top part too, and then of course just blend it with my water brush. I'm not sure what this little dot here is. How did it occur here? And to add a little bit more contrast and drama, it's also, you know, a very thin pen, but because the surface is wet, it will appear a little bit bolder than it actually is. It's why I'm not using the bold one, because it would be just too bold. It also has the liquid ink, the Uni-Ball Eye, so I don't want to use it. And just, you know, for the sake of grounding, I think I will add some here on the bottom, some more black ink. I'm thinking about just doing some flicking here on the bottom to kind of help with this shading effect. But I think I will add some more shade too. So coming back to my water brush and to my water-based graphite pencil with a green hue and just adding a little bit more. Well, it is a plant that I would like to have in my home because I'm not really good with plants. I think that the one that I draw would last me longer than a real one. So maybe it's better that I can't really buy it, so that I need to settle with the one that I create with my art supplies. I'm not sure if you like this, but I think it's nice and airy and, you know, playful with these fescue endings that just flow away from the basic shape of the Foundabout Tangle. If you do like it, feel free to try it with your supplies, maybe in your own way. Maybe it will inspire you to do something different. And I would like to thank you for watching and for supporting me with your, you know, views and comments. Thank you so much and see you soon, hopefully. Bye.